Prologue, The Bastard Flame. Location, White Forest, ruins of the New Vale. Snow falls like ash. Garrick stands before Kael's empty grave, a cairn of charred bones and melted steel. The sword embedded in the stone, Dawnbreaker, still hums with the ghost of his father's defiance. Around him, the orphaned Templars train beneath blackened boughs, their breath frosting in the air. They are children, mostly. Scarred. Starving. Dangerous. Their eyes flicker with the same fire that once fueled Kael's crusades, but tempered by a colder truth: the world has no use for heroes. Garrick lights a torch from the eternal feather's flame, a relic stolen from Sibylla's pyre, and presses it to his chest. The smell of burning flesh mingles with pine resin. He does not scream. Pain is a language he learned before words. "You burned for a god, father," Garrick whispers, ash clogging his throat. "I burn for what you left behind." Above, the aurora shimmers, not light, but cracks in the veil. Through them, something watches. Chapter 1, Embers in Exile. Location, the Frosted Wound, Northern Barricade. The fractured sky leaks memories here. Shadows of dead Templars flicker in the ice, their final battles replaying in silence. Garrick leads a raid on a syndicate remnant holed up in Black Spire, an obsidian monolith jutting from the tundra. The spire's machinery groans as it siphons Ylir's marrow, a luminous or mined from the veins of the fallen phoenix. Garrick ascends the spire's rusted girders, Kael's sword strapped to his back, his own blade, Ashbrand, glowing faintly at his hip. A mutant priest, its body fused with syndicate machinery, guards the central reactor. Kael's whelp, it rasps, oil-black blood dripping from its jaws. The cycle spits out bastards like bones. Garrick drives Ashbrand into the reactor's core. The explosion paints the snow in phosphorescent blue. Evelyn, a sharpshooter with a mechanical raven perched on her shoulder, watches from a nearby rise. "Kael Draven had honor," she says, reloading her rifle. Garrick wipes gore from his face. He had options. Behind them, syndicate survivors whisper, "The bastard phoenix walks." Chapter 2, The Broken Sigil. Location, Citadel Verge, Vault of Forgotten Orders. The Citadel is a carcass. Its once gilded halls are now choked with ice and the skeletons of Templars who died guarding secrets. Garrick and his Ashborn breach the vault, seeking Kael's sealed orders. Instead, they find a dossier stamped with the Syndicate's Viper sigil. Inside, a confession. Garrick's mother, Lyra Vera, a Syndicate spy embedded in Kael's inner circle. Executed for treason. By Kael's hand. Garrick's silence is volcanic. When the vault's defenses trigger, crushing 3 Ashborn under falling stone, he does not look back. "Evelyn, you knew this would happen." Garrick, "I knew nothing." That's the problem. Ashbrand glows brighter, a hungry, cobalt flame. Chapter 3, The Nameless God. Location, Hollow Spire, depths below the fracture. Beneath the hollow spire lies a pit where Sibylla, Kael's sworn enemy, once drew power from the Vale's heart. Garrick descends into the abyss, guided by dreams of a child's voice. He finds the child, Nyx, blind, with silver eyes that mirror the Vale's cracks. Nyx speaks in Kael's voice, "The Vale is not gone. Just, unfinished." As Garrick reaches for Nyx, shadows congeal into the Nameless God, a skeletal figure draped in smoke and starfire. Its offer is a blade wrapped in silk: "Rewrite your father's sins. Become the architect." Garrick refuses. For now. Chapter 4, Phoenixborn. Location, Emberfast, the new Templar bastion. Emberfast is a fortress carved into a glacier, its walls inlaid with veins of Ylir's marrow. Here, the displaced gather, Ashborn, defected syndicate engineers, even a revenant cohort, undead soldiers bound by oath, not magic. The rebellion. Jorek Vault, a hulking ex-syndicate enforcer with a molten axe, seeks redemption for slaughtering Templar children. Lyra, a revenant alchemist whose skin glows with unstable Vale fire. Evelyn, the only one who calls Garrick by his name, not Phoenixborn. When Garrick's eternal feather shatters, a blue ember rises, a sentient flame named Cinder. It whispers, "You are not Kael's shadow. You are the spark after the blaze." Chapter 5, The Lie of the Cycle. Location, Deep Vale Rift, the eye between worlds. The rift is a jagged tear in reality, its edges fraying into recursive time. Garrick steps into the chaos, dragging Dawnbreaker behind him. Inside, he confronts echoes. Kael and Sibylla's final duel. Azrael, Kael's brother, dissolving into light to stall the Vale's collapse. A version of himself abandoning the Ashborn. Kael's echo, the cycle is a prison. Break it. Their blades clash once, then Garrick lowers Ashbrand. "I'm not here to fight ghosts." Kael's echo smiles. "No. You're here to bury them." Chapter 6, The Fire That Forgets. Location, Emberfast, the night of red snow. The Ashborn prepare for winter's siege. Supplies dwindle. Tempers fray. The sky churns with crimson frost, a storm shaped by Vale turbulence, not weather. It's said Sibylla's death scream still echoes in these winds. Garrick dreams of a city made of glass and bone. He wakes to find Cinder flickering wildly, whispering one word, "Run." Breach. Syndicate warbeasts descend the cliffs, cloaked in unlight. Led by a revenant bearing Kael's voice. Not his memory, his voice. Garrick stumbles as it calls him son. Jorek dies holding the western gate. Lyra ignites herself, Vale fire spilling from her veins to stop the second wave. Evelyn snipes the revenant through its voice box, but not before it hisses. Kael lives. In the cycle's heart. Emberfast burns. Again. Chapter 7, The Temple Beneath Ash. Location, Alir's Spine, Undersea Ruins. Garrick sails south with a ragged band of survivors, following Cinder's pull across frozen seas to the drowned temple of the Phoenix Riders. They descend into bone, literal ribs of Alir forming vaulted corridors lit by bioluminescent moss. Here, time does not move. Garrick meets the Ember Warden, a blind priest whose breath is fire. "You are not the Phoenix's heir," the Warden says. "You are its sin." Cinder flares. Ashbrand pulses. Garrick kneels beside a pool of living marrow, whispering to it like a prayer. "I don't want to be chosen. I want to choose." From the pool, something stirs, a second eternal feather, black as the void between stars. Chapter 8, The Crown of Cinders. Location, Ash Spire, apex of the broken world. The Ash Spire is a monolith of obsidian and regret. Garrick climbs its spiral paths, pursued by whispers, Kael's, Sibylla's, his own. At the summit, a throne of molten steel untouched for centuries. Cinder takes form, a burning child with no face. It speaks as Garrick's younger self. "You think fire is memory. But fire forgets. That's its mercy." He refuses the throne. Instead, he melts it, fusing it with Ashbrand. The sword becomes whole, Ash Dawn, a blade forged from legacy, sacrifice, and refusal. Below, the fractured sky screams. Something is coming through. Chapter 9, The Hollow Host. Location, the sky fracture, edge of the new Vale. The fracture has widened. Through it marches the hollow host, remnants of every cycle, stitched together from half-remembered lives. Garrick sees himself among them, Garrick the tyrant. Garrick the redeemer. Garrick who never lit the feather. He confronts their leader, Kael Draven, reborn in Vale light, body wrapped in threads of paradox. He wears no armor, only scars. Kael, you ended my fire. Garrick, because you burned everything else. They fight. But neither wins. Instead, Ash Dawn splits the fracture itself, sealing the hollow host inside a moment that can never come again. Kael fades, whispering. "You are my echo. But not my end." Chapter 10, Ashfall Covenant. Location, the Maw, subterranean vault beneath Ember Grove. The grove above is calm, reborn in the ghost of fire. Below, in the maw, the truth festers like an old wound. Garrick descends alone, following a trail of petrified feathers etched into the walls. The air is heavy, metallic, not with blood, but memory. Here, the Ashborn first rose. Here, the cycle was first chained. He finds it in the depths, a mural, carved in shifting stone. The Ashfall Covenant, an ancient pact made between Valekind and Phoenix blood. Kael had hidden it. Not to protect others from it, but to keep it for himself. The truth, the cycle was never divine. It was engineered by Phoenix riders desperate to halt the unraveling of time. They bound the veil to memory and fire, made death recursive, and crowned Kael their warden. The Covenant promised a stable world, but only through endless repetition. Cinder awakens inside Ash Dawn, burning white-hot. You are not the heir, it says. You are the correction. In a hidden chamber, Garrick finds a sarcophagus. Not Kael's. His own. From a past cycle. Inside, bones wrapped in syndicate silk. A locket engraved with the name Lyra. He does not scream. He kneels. Then he sets the whole chamber ablaze. Ash Dawn drinks the fire without protest. Chapter 11, What Remains in Ruin. Location, Shattered Bastion, the first Temple of Flame. Emberfast has fallen. Again. But the Ashborn are not broken. Evelyn leads the survivors north, through dead zones where even the veil fears to bleed. She carries Garrick's words like scripture, we burn forward. The first temple rises from a jagged cleft in the world, half swallowed by time. Its guardians are golems of cracked stone and burning ichor, Phoenix wardens, remnants of the original riders, minds fused to magma cores. They speak in tongues. Garrick answers in fire. Nyx meets them in the central chamber, her silver eyes eclipsed. She is changing, no longer merely a seer, but a veilborn, a living conduit. She touches the temple's core, and it responds with a vision. Garrick as Kael. Evelyn as Sibylla. The world endlessly rebuilding only to collapse. But then something new, Garrick throwing down his blade, not in surrender, but in rejection. And the cycle pausing. Not ending. Pausing. Outside, Ashborn construct cairns from Veilstone. They do not pray. They remember. It is enough. Chapter 12, A Flame Without a Master. Location, the crownless sky, between the threads of time. Time ruptures like parchment soaked in oil. Garrick crosses into the crownless sky, a metaphysical space between what was and what will never be. The veil phrase completely here. Thoughts take form. Doubt becomes blade. He walks paths lined with failed Garricks. Some mad. Some divine. One kneels before a throne made of Evelyn's bones. Another dances with Nyx in a field of unburning fire. At the center, the architect. Neither Kael nor God, but something that once was both. It welcomes him. You were not meant to escape the script, it says. You were meant to refine it. Garrick draws Ash Dawn. Then burn it with me. The architect unleashes the raw form of the cycle, a storm of every life Garrick has lived, will live, and might. Garrick stands still, lets it crash over him. And does not break. He offers not fire. But silence. A choice. Ash Dawn dims. Then shatters. Not from weakness, but release. The architect pauses. Smiles. And fades. Garrick wakes in the grove, ash on his skin. The sky above is whole. Cracked, but healing. Cinder is gone. Only smoke remains. Epilogue, The Last Feather. Location, Valewood, 40 years later. The world has not healed. Not fully. But it remembers how. The Ashborn Order is legend now, half myth, half movement. They teach fire not as weapon, but story. Garrick is gone. Or hidden. Or walking. No one agrees. Nyx is the oracle of Valewood, though her eyes have long since closed. Evelyn is a whisper, a hunter of those who would reignite old wars. Her rifle speaks rarely, but never misses. Children now bear names like Kael, Sibylla, even Garrick. But they carry no burden. Only spark. On the edge of a forest, where the vale once wept, a girl finds something beneath a cairn of melted stone. A sword with no edge. A feather turned to crystal. A note burned into the bark. The cycle forgot us. We remembered each other. She picks it up. The flame flickers. Then steadies.